Welcome to the Fight Night Daily Podcast from Las Vegas, Allegiant Stadium, media room for Canelo Crawford. We have just witnessed a little bit of history. My name's Adam Catterall, pleasure to be with you. Gareth Davies alongside me. And I tell you what, my mind is absolutely blown. In the pre-fight preambles, we said that he had all the capabilities to do something very, very special. My word, did he do something very, very special. An absolute schooling. The result of the fight is that Terence Crawford is the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world. On the judges' scorecards, which we will talk about, 115, 113 on 2, 116, 112 on 1. He won the fight via a unanimous decision and is crowned a 3-division undisputed champion. History tonight in Las Vegas, mate.
Absolutely. I picked Canelo because I thought he was so much bigger, almost three weight divisions above him. But the majesty and poise of Terence Crawford's brilliance tonight was to the fore. I had it 9 rounds to 3. I can just about see 8 rounds to 4, the 16-12 score. I cannot see 7 rounds to 5 from 2 of the judges. Terence Crawford tonight, at speed of thought, speed of hands, speed of feet, took it to Canelo when he had to. Canelo had no answers to him. For me, Terence Crawford moves up to the number 1 pound for pound spot in the sport right now, above Naoya Inoue, above Alexander Usyk. He is incredible. To become historically a 3-weight undisputed world champion, it just beggars belief what he's managed to do. He was immense tonight. He took it with humility. There was a little bit of emotion afterwards, but from first to last, I have to say it, Canelo did not have the answers for him. So let's take nothing away from Crawford. It was all of his doing.
Oh, absolutely.
He was the one that made Canelo look older, slower, and without the right answers.
He schooled him. He schooled him from start to finish.
Him.
Listen, it was cagey at the start, don't get me wrong. There was a little bit of nip and tuck, there was a little bit of downloading the data, seeing what the situation is. Interesting that for the full 12 rounds, he only boxed in southpaw. No switch hitting tonight, stayed in southpaw. A little bit of downloading of the data, and then just gradually went through the gears up to round 4, and that's when he started to put his foot down. Everything Canelo did tonight, Bud Crawford had an answer for it. Not only that, if you go back and watch the previews that we did throughout the course of the week, we said that this is a game of IQ. There's going to be movement within the fight. You're going to have to answer different types of questions and bring different types of game plan. Crawford did that. He was able to do it backwards, he was able to do it forwards, he could trade in the pocket, catch the stuff, and then counter. He was absolutely magnificent. Listen, I know this is raw and we've only just walked out the stadium, right?
10 minutes ago.
And when the dust settles on this, we'll probably have better answers and better thought processes. And I'm sure people watching this will get stuck into the comments and maybe say what I'm about to say is quite outlandish. That might be the single best performance that I have ever witnessed live. It was absolutely tremendous. You've got to take into consideration the weight jump. This is a man that was champion at 135, 140, 147, and obviously recently at 154. But let's be honest, he even jumped up to 154 pounds for that. To go then up to 168 and take on the former pound for pound number 1 king on a Mexican holiday weekend in Las Vegas and managed to beat him on the cards when the judges tried to do him, mate, it is out of this world what Terence Crawford just did. And he needs all the flowers in the world, he needs all the praise in the world. And I don't think you're wrong, mate, by saying he's the pound for pound number 1. It's an ever-moving list. That performance alone deserves to put him right at the top of the chart.
Yeah, he's become. There's an argument that he becomes an all-time great with that performance, like you say, because the majesty, the poise, the presence all week, the pinpoint accuracy of everything he did in there, to the fact that in the end Canelo was frustrated and knew he couldn't do anything to Crawford, and he started
visibly frustrated, wasn't it?
No, visibly frustrated that he started to do a weird kind of showboating because he didn't have any answers for what was happening and unfolding in front of him. I think Terence Crawford has rubber-stamped himself as an all-time great tonight, and I want to revise a view on him. I wondered whether he would have been capable of beating Floyd Mayweather at welterweight.
Oh, you're going for it now, aren't you?
And I think, yeah, we got to. I think he may well have done. Do you know, I'll even say another thing. I was watching him in there tonight thinking...
Get carried away now, isn't it?
I was in there tonight watching him thinking he could probably, because he carried 168 so well, he could probably fight a light heavyweight, you know.
Yeah, are you saying that he should go after Bivol?
I don't know about Bivol, but
Well, who else is there?
I'm not joking. I think he can handle himself.
Of course he can handle himself.
No, light heavyweight, I mean.
Okay.
That movement that he does from the southpaw stance to slip punches, his chin tonight, he took some big blows from Canelo as well. I'm just looking at my scorecard, going back to what you were saying when you were talking about downloading the data and all that. First 4 rounds were close, but they were all close.
He battered him in the fourth round.
First 3 rounds were close. Crawford. Finally in the 5th, Canelo had a bit of leeway and had a bit of time. But you felt the whole time, come on Canelo, be more active, throw more volume. But when you're being outboxed like that, your brain will not allow you. It was a masterful performance that we will celebrate forever. We were in the gods watching it, by the way, on 2 giant screens. We normally sit on the ring apron, and you sometimes see a slightly different fight. But as I came down media row here, people were saying 10-2, 9-3. I've got it 9-3.
The scoring was diabolical. The best, absolute best case scenario is
8-4.
Is that 8-4.
Yeah.
And even that didn't happen. 7-5 absolutely didn't happen. The judging, as I've said, and this winds me up. I know that the right man's won, so I should just be in a celebratory mode.
Yeah.
But I said in the predictions, Crawford will win this fight, but Canelo will get the decision, and they tried.
No, but it's by the by now because it's a unanimous points decision victor. Everybody here knows he won. Everybody, you felt the arena go quiet for Canelo from round 8 onwards, and you felt the noise for the Crawford supporters in there. There will always be problems with judging. There's always weird judging in Las Vegas. We knew he was the home fighter, Canelo. The mariachi band that Crawford came out to, I do want to know, I will ask him at the post-fight press conference, was he supporting Mexican Independence Day?
I'll tell you what he was doing. Do you want me to tell you what he was doing? Go on, if you want to finish. He was trolling Ilia Topuria. That was Ilia Topuria's walkout music. Topuria this week said that he would knock Terence Crawford out within 1 round, and he walked out to Topuria's walkout music.
Why? What, with the belt, maybe, or what, something in a bag?
He had something in his hand. I don't know what was in his hand.
It was unusual. I like a suitcase.
But the music was Ilia Topuria's music.
Okay, so because I thought he was giving a paean to Mexican Independence Day by
that might have been an added thing to it as well. But that music,
how I read it anyway.
That music 100% is Ilia Topuria's walkout music. Topuria this week in the news said that
why is he interested in Ilia Topuria?
Because Topuria this week said that he would knock Crawford out in 1 round.
But why is he going to fight Topuria, do you think?
Listen, who knows what he's going to do? I just think tonight, from start to finish, Terence Crawford owned the whole evening. He came out, like you've just said, to a mariachi music. It's Canción del Mariachi, the song, which is an Ilia Topuria walkout tune. He's come out, big smiling on his face. He's owned every moment. He's even smiling in there when
he always does that when he gets caught.
Yeah, when he's getting caught, when he's not getting caught.
It's like to say you can't hurt me.
He was absolutely magnificent from start to finish.
Yeah.
The big question is now, what does he do next? I know that you just alluded to light heavyweight. Maybe they're going to talk about maybe doing a rematch. Personally, I don't need to see it. I have just seen an absolute schooling from Terence Crawford.
As you guys are making your way back to the media room, and I stayed in there for the interview in Spanish that was translated with Canelo in the ring, I heard him say,
Who's this, Terence or Canelo?
Canelo.
All right, okay.
I feel good. He's obviously going to be disappointed when he watches it back. He spoke like a guy who wants to get in there again.
Of course, he's a competitor. He's a
with
champion.
Crawford, he spoke like a guy that maybe expects to have the rematch because that's in the contract. I agree with you. I said it to you before we came on air. We don't really need to see a rematch because I don't see any different outcome the next time, frankly. The way that Crawford boxes, he did it so efficiently and effortlessly. That Canelo doesn't beat Crawford 5 times out of 5.
No, listen, Canelo on several occasions in this fight was in position to do things. But Crawford's exits out of corner strategies was absolutely sensational. The way that he was cutting off the ring, the way that he was prepared to mix it, the way that he stood in the range, the way that he boxed him on the back foot. Everything about that performance from Terence Crawford was chef's kiss, mate. That's as good as it gets. That is the sweet science. We talk about hit and don't get hit all the time, don't we? That was the epitome of that.
Well, I think genuinely in the last 3 rounds, if he'd gone for broke, he might have even been able to stop Canelo. There were moments,
weren't there?
There were moments when he was stopped in his tracks.
There was moments,
and
yeah,
he was
you're
just
right.
throwing out of instinct. When Crawford was landing and moving, like you say, his adroitness, his lateral movement tonight, his fleetness of foot. Whenever he was caught in a corner, he moved. He was also that. We talked about it in the build-up tonight on Fight Night. He never ever loses focus while he's in there.
He's cold,
his
man.
Focus, his professionalism in that sense is extraordinary, and he made Canelo lose his focus.
Yes, he absolutely did. I just hope now that where that was shown this evening, Netflix, big platform, I hope that lad now turns into a megastar. I hope he's on the chat shows, I hope he's doing all sorts of things, because a performance like that should be celebrated worldwide.
And you know it, but he's not that kind of guy.
No,
is
he's not, but he should be encouraged to do it.
Yeah, I think...
Because he's got a wonderful story. I mean, he's the father of 7 kids, man. That's in itself a fantastic story, isn't it? Get him on the chat shows.
Is there anyone in the UK we'd like to see Terence Crawford fight?
I think he's beaten them all up, hasn't he?
Hamzah Sheeraz?
Do you think?
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it.
If it means Terence Crawford's coming to the UK to fight in a stadium, I'm in, man. I could watch that fella box all day long.
No, Bivol could be a step too far. May have the style to beat Terence. He probably won't go one more step to light heavyweight.
No, I mean the guy's
There's
just
no
jumped
need to.
multiple weights. He's not a super middle.
It wouldn't surprise me if they do plan a rematch. It wouldn't surprise me. Like you say, sitting in the cold light of day now, what we just witnessed, because we were sitting there together as a team, and we were like, no,
unreal.
Another round, ticket off for Crawford, another round, ticket off. And he didn't ever look in trouble, did he?
No.
Even when Canelo hit him with big shots. Love to see Terence Crawford go on a world tour as well, because if he's not
Celebrate him, yeah.
not appreciated in America, let's appreciate him at Wembley Stadium in the UK.
Terence.
Against a big British name.
Terence, if you watch this, make sure you come to talkSPORT, do our show with us. 3 hours, man. Just let us absolutely fanboy over you for 3 hours and let the audience interact with you, because it was a sensational
And it'll be a
performance.
decade apart from him winning in Scotland against Ricky Burns.
That's
as
true,
well.
yeah, his first world title.
I'd
yeah.
love to see him come to the UK. He's very loved in the UK.
No, absolutely.
There's almost a fan worship for him.
Listen, people know their boxing,
Yeah.
and they know how skillful he is. My only doubt tonight was whether he was going to get it on the cards because of the judging. I'm so happy that he did get it, and we've witnessed history. It's a monumental thing what we've witnessed tonight for boxing. One, everybody got it right. He becomes the champion. And doing it in 3 divisions in this modern era, it's a history-making moment. Not since 1937 has it happened with Henry Armstrong. This is unbelievable for him to do it in the 4-belt era. Sensational.
To what you're saying about the judging, I really would like to get the card up if we can.
You want to know exactly which judges? I thought I got sneezed all over them.
Yeah,
He's enjoying himself, isn't he?
I
piece is
want to
kicking
see
in.
because sometimes in Vegas they've sent the scorecards through already.
Okay. Well, we could pick that up in a minute. Just I want to get your thoughts on the event as a whole, because that's the first time I've been in the Allegiant. That was absolutely outrageous.
First time I've been in the Allegiant as well. First time I've done a stadium fight in 27 years of coming to Vegas, and it was staggering. Netflix, Turkey Al Sheikh, Dana White, the fighters themselves take a huge bow because the show was right, the musicality, the mariachi, the light display, the whole staging of the week has been amazing, and we were critical of certain things earlier in the week. Was it a square peg in a round hole? Was it a UFC style press conference, UFC style weigh-in? The weigh-ins were amazing. The Mexicans make the occasion. Terence had enough support in there. The staging on TV, and I've already had loads of people, family and friends get in touch saying, oh my God, Netflix know how to put on a show.
They do.
But it's not just Netflix, it's UFC, it's Dana White, it's the thought that goes behind it, Turkey Al Sheikh, the whole shebang, the whole 9 yards was brilliant tonight.
Well, as we said, there needs to be new little bolt-ons to the world of boxing to try and incorporate new audiences. I thought the show that they put on tonight was fantastic. I had a few people saying, come on, let's get on with it, let's get to the fight straight away, when we had that little gap of about 20-25 minutes between the co-main and the main event, because we had the big ring walks, then we had all the bit of pomp and ceremony. In the stadium, that really worked, absolutely really worked. Everybody was captivated. Hopefully it worked at home as well. Like I said, as a show, I think it's worked. The arena was absolutely sensational. Incredible fight fans, and we've got to take our hats off to Canelo, because nobody pulls a crowd like him. His fans came out in the thousands, tens of thousands, weren't they? So, all in all, I think it's a massive tick for the brand new partnership of Turki Al-Sheikh and Dana White. I think they've nailed it with a fantastic main event, and obviously
and probably 100 million viewers on Netflix.
I hope so, mate. I hope so.
Yeah, but also, you rightly said just now, a crossover into the mainstream. So it's not just a fanboy, fangirl of boxing audience that's seen it. It's a mainstream audience.
Yeah.
You know, of several generations watching it tonight.
Yeah.
The big question that we both need to ask now, if the rematch with Terence Crawford is not there for Canelo, what does he do next? I'll answer in a minute.
Well, listen, it's a really interesting question, because obviously if he's not rematching Terence Crawford, then does he stay at 168? Does he do something else? Does he move to a different weight division to try and chase another championship? I think, listen, it's Raw right now. We've just finished it. Tonight is all about Terence Crawford and the brilliance of what he did. It doesn't take away from the legacy of Sal Canelo Alvarez. He has achieved great things. It is evident that he is slightly slowing down, but it was all because of Crawford tonight.
It was because of Crawford.
Crawford made him look that way.
I can't reinforce that enough.
So what he does next, listen, he'll probably push for a rematch, and rightfully so. He's been the king of this division for such a long period of time, and because of his stature and what he can bring to the table, he might get that rematch. Therefore, we might end up in a scenario where we get it. But for me,
Crawford won't mind doing the rematch, because he proved everything there, that he's got this exactly. Probably doubles his money. When you think that Canelo arguably got $150 million for that.
There you go.
Or reportedly.
Reverse it up.
And I don't think they'll reverse it up.
He should get 100.
Because Canelo's, the thing is, the Mexicans and Canelo's fans will still believe that he can do it the second time
of course,
around.
Of course.
But I just wonder whether Canelo might have had enough as well, that retirement is a consideration.
Maybe.
He's
been doing it
fights,
20 years.
He is slightly past his prime. I think we can all admit that. We talked about it earlier. You know, he's close to $1 billion as a fighter. If he has a couple more, he goes over the billion mark. So maybe he does have a couple more. I'd like to see him come and fight Hamzah Sheeraz in the UK.
I thought you just paired Hamzah Sheeraz up with Terence Crawford.
Either of the guys.
I think, thinking about it logically, if Canelo's going to go again, it's a rematch with Terence Crawford for everything in the super middleweight division, to see if he can get that one back. And obviously there'll be a lot of money on the table for that. And then whatever happens, I think then it's a check out. From a Crawford point of view, that fella could go back down in weight and mop up there if he wanted to, and try and become a four-time undisputed.
Go to middleweight.
You know what I mean?
He looked comfortable at 160. I mean, I'd raised that point about him being a stone heavier than he'd ever been in his boxing career, but he looked tensile strength, never really fatigued. I was watching him at one point tonight, and he was just dancing. Canelo was really hunting him.
He was enjoying it.
And Crawford, almost dismissively, went to dance for 20 seconds.
Brilliant.
And Canelo dropped his hands and he went, out of fatigue and frustration, and it just epitomised the night for me. And then Crawford came in, countered, hit him twice and banged him down the middle with the left hand. Unbelievable.
He was sensational.
Unbelievable.
He was sensational. Listen, in Las Vegas, it was an awesome night. I can't speak highly enough of it. Get stuck into the comments. Let me know how it transcended when you were watching it on TV at home. Just a little bit of a quick mention for the other title fight that took place in Belfast. We watched it on TV whilst we were here. Fantastic performance. Big celebrations to Lewis Crocker, who beat Paddy Donovan on a split decision to become the IBF welterweight champion. A former belt of Terence Crawford's, of course. We've got to give that a mention, because obviously UK has only got Nick Ball as a male world champion, and now the Irish have got Lewis Crocker. That's absolutely fantastic for him.
Of course, because he's Northern Irish, yeah, so we count him as a UK
of course we do. We stick that on
world champion right now. He reversed it, he did brilliantly. And also over here, we've got to mention, Adam, a brilliant fight of the year contender between Mabili and his opponent, whose name I can't remember right now. I should be able to remember. Martinez.
Lester Martinez. It was a great fight. It was a good fight.
10-round fight where they gave everything from the opening bell. In fact, after the first round, the levels of exhaustion from watching them go at it for 3 minutes was incredible. And also a great victory for Callum Walsh tonight, where the judges gave him...
It wasn't the greatest fight, but he did the business. He did the business,
He outworked, and it was a really good learning fight for him against Fernando Vargas Jr., whose father was in the corner. He was too good for him.
Yeah.
I scored it 6-4 or 7-3. The judge in the 10-round fight, the judges scored it a shutout.
Yeah, I thought
9-1 or 10-0.
Yeah. Listen, we're going to shut up now because we're probably going to get shut up anyway, because the new undisputed super middleweight champion of the world is about to walk in to this press conference, and all these people are going to ask him a ton of questions. So you'll catch that and the reaction to that on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel. Make sure you're across the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel for everything that we've done this week. There's loads of little bits and bats, and we're going to be obviously getting you closer to more fights in the not too distant future. Tune in 10 o'clock Monday morning. I'm sure Mr. Jordan has got a few opinions on everything that has happened out here with Jim White. That's a show to be tuning in for, and we'll have all the fallout as well on the breakfast show from 6 o'clock. Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Why? Because Romario, who runs it, needs them subscriptions. He gets paid on them. So give him a blooming lift, all right? You get him an extra flight to our next fight. Beautiful stuff. Thank you very much for tuning in to us this week. Hopefully, we've got you closer to the action and you felt like you were here. What a night. History made. We'll catch you next time.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.